shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like
What's going on, fight fans? It's another great day when you love MMA. Welcome back to Matty Fight Talk. We got a huge event going down New Year's Eve. It's going down 12/31, Saitama Super Arena in Tokyo, Japan. We got Bellator taking on Rizin. Two promotions putting their top fighters against each other to see where they stand. I'm excited for this. I think every MMA fan should be excited for stuff like this. This is what I hope for all the time, to see big-time promotions not afraid to lay it on the line and see who has the better fighters. Both promotions, in my eyes, win when you do things like this because it brings a lot of eyes to the sport. You know, you got Bellator fans, now they're going to be looking at Rizin. You got Rizin fans, now they're going to be looking at Bellator. And I'm excited. So the main event's going down in lightweight for the Bellator versus Rizin. You got, from Rizin, Roberto Satoshi Souza taking on Bellator's McKee. Now, Souza, he's 14-1, 4 KOs, 10 submissions. This dude's 5'10", 33 years young. He's on a 5-fight win streak, 12 first-round finishes, has finished all of his opponents, never been to the distance. So that is very impressive by Souza to never go to the distance and be 14-1. He's the current Rizin champ at 155. Now, that speaks a lot to what Bellator thinks of McKee, because he is not the Bellator champ right now, but he's 19-1, 6 KOs, 7 submissions, 5'9", 27 years young, was on an 18-fight win streak before his first loss back in April. He has 10 first-round finishes. He did lose his title to Pitbull, and then he took on Spike Carlisle at 155. So he is back on a winning streak. Well, you know, got to win back. But he is a former Bellator champion. Now, this fight's going to be extremely high-paced. It's going to be a very high-level type of fight. And I think McKee actually steps it up in fights like these. He performs really well under the pressure and under the big lights. Now, Roberto, he's a finisher, man. This guy's got nasty, nasty jiu-jitsu. And his striking is really well, too. But I think that AJ is going to have the advantage in the stand-up department, which is going to force this fight to the ground. I see both of these guys being in some wild exchanges, both standing and on the ground. Roberto might even try and, lock in some submissions. I think AJ might fight through it. But I do see this fight potentially going into a decision. Now, I'm not sure if this is a 3-round fight or a 5-round fight. If it's a 3-round fight, I say it goes the distance and it'll be a decision. Now, if it's a 5-round fight, I could see this fight being ended in 4 or 5 because both guys are probably going to be going crazy in the first 2 to 3 rounds. So it could get really interesting there. But I'm going to take McKee by decision. And the reason I'm taking him by decision is because he's very good standing up and his ground game is extremely good. And he has great defense. Now, the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is he's stepping up to 155. He had a really crazy fight with Spike Carlisle. So I'm curious to see if he can make the adjustments and get used to the weight class. Because Roberto is extremely dangerous at 155. If you guys haven't seen this guy fight, go check out some highlights. Really, really good jiu-jitsu. I just think AJ is going to crack him hard and slow him down. So I could be wrong, but I got McKee winning this fight. Now you go down to the co-main event. It's going down at featherweight. You got Rizin's Kleber Koiki, and excuse me if I'm saying his name's wrong. I'm not really the best namesayer, so you can correct me if you want. Taking on Patricio Pitbull, the champion from Bellator. Now, Koiki is 35-5-1. He's 2 KOs, 27 submissions. 27 submissions. 5'8", 33 years young. He's on a 7-fight win streak. 16 first-round finishes. He's got nasty triangles, arm bars, and rear naked chokes. The dude is a fucking finisher, and when he finishes you, he most likely is going to submit you. Now we go over to Patricio Pitbull from Bellator, the current champ at 145. He's 34-5, 12 KOs, 11 submissions, extremely well-rounded. His last 10 fights have been title fights, 15 total title fights in his career, 9-1 in his last 10, and he last defeated Adam Borix to retain his belt, and he's been a pro since 2004. I mean, if you guys are familiar with Bellator, you know who the Pitbull brothers are. You know who Patricio is and Patricky. So these guys are, they're the face of Bellator, and I'm glad to see one of the Pitbull brothers representing Bellator because they've been in the game for so long. Now, Koiki, however you say his name, I'm going to say Koiki, but this kid's a fucking monster, all right? I may not know how to say his name, but one thing I do know is that this guy, when he gets your back, when he takes it to the ground, you can damn near say it's over. I think this is going to be an extremely hard fight for Pitbull. Now, one thing I can say about the Pitbull brothers is these guys never quit. You have to put them out to win the fight. You have to finish them. I just think Kleber's going to be going for the finish the entire time. Pitbull, to me, might have the better stand-up in this fight, but I just don't see it being a standing fight for super long. I see Pitbull defending a lot of takedowns. I see him defending a lot of submissions, and I see him losing in a 3-round decision. If it's a 3-round fight, I definitely see Kleber winning this fight because he, to me, has a more diverse tool set where the fight can go anywhere. It's not always going to be a standing fight. Unless Pitbull absolutely knocks him out, which he is fully capable of doing, I think that Pitbull's got a lot of grit, a lot of toughness, and he's going to be having to defend a lot of submissions. But I got Kleber winning this fight in the co-main event. So right now we're 1-1, Bellator 1, Rizin 1. Now we go down one more fight to the flyweight division. For Rizin, you got Hiramaza, Oiga Kupo, I'm not good with names, versus Kyoji Horiguchi, fighting out of Bellator. So this is going to be a really good matchup. 25-7-2 for Hiramaza. He's got 2 KOs, 6 submissions, 5'3", 35 years young. He's 8-2 in his last 10. Last lost to Souza Kim, who's actually on the same fight card, via decision. Now Horiguchi, fighting out of the Bellator, 30-5, 15 KOs, 4 submissions, 5'5", 32 years young. Fought in the UFC from 2013 to 2016, so you guys might be a little bit more familiar with this fighter. 7-3 in his last 10, last one in September. So this is going to be a good matchup. Both fighters bring a lot of tools to the table, and I just think that Horiguchi definitely has more power in his hands. So if he can stuff Hiramaza from taking him down and keep this fight standing, I think Horiguchi can win. He's a little bit crazy when it comes to the striking. He is a little bit taller. And both guys have been doing very well in their last 10 fights. So I just see Horiguchi getting the job done. I say it's going to be a 2nd-round knockout because Hiramaza is not going to be able to take the power. He's not going to be able to stand with him. That's just my opinion. So I got Horiguchi winning this fight. Now we go to the next fight. You got Souza Kim taking on Juan Archuleta. Now, Kim's fighting for Rizin. Archuleta's fighting for Bellator. But let's take it to the Kim side real quick. 18-6-1, 6 KOs, 5 submissions, 5'6", 30 years young. He's 8-1-1 in his last 10, 7 first-round finishes. And he's had 5 career title fights for Road FC and 1. So the guy's very experienced, has title experience. So this kid's no joke. Juan Archuleta over at Bellator is 26-4, 11 KOs, 1 submission, 5'8", 35 years young. Was undefeated from 2015 to 2019. That's really crazy to go that long and be undefeated. 7-3 in his last 10. So 4 of those 10 fights were for the belt. Now both of these guys, this is a very interesting matchup because I feel like Kim is extremely well-rounded, has good ground, good stand-up. Juan Archuleta, I mean, he's not bad on the ground, but definitely has the power to shut the show down. I think it's going to be a very back-and-forth fight. But I just see Juan, he's a lot older now. I don't know if he's going to be able to put on the kind of pace that I'm used to seeing from him. So if Kim can eat the power, if he can keep his distance, if he can turn this into a mixed martial arts fight, I definitely think he could get the job done. He's definitely going to need to avoid getting cracked from Archuleta. So this fight could go the distance, but I see it getting finished in the 2nd round but via submission by Kim. I say Souza Kim's going to win. 2nd round submission. Juan Archuleta is probably going to hurt him bad in the 1st round, and that's when Kim's going to turn it on. But we'll see what happens. Now going down to the main card opener for this Bellator versus Rizin dream card matchup. We got Koji Takata fighting for Rizin, taking on Gadzi Rubanov from Bellator. Very good matchup. Takata 15-3, 2 KOs, 5 submissions. He's 5'6", 27 years young, 7-3 in his last 10. And he last defeated Zach Zane back in October via 1st-round submission. Then you got Rubanov, 18-4-1, 7 KOs, 4 submissions, 5'8", 29 years young. He's 9-1 in his last 10, and he last defeated Bobby King in July via decision. This fight is really, really going to be interesting because both of these guys are pretty goddamn good on the ground. But I've seen Rubanov fight in real life, and I'm telling you, the pressure that guy puts on you, he can hang with you standing, but he just turns it into one of these grinding matchups. Now, Takata's extremely good. Very good when he can lock in submissions and finish the fight. But I just see Rubanov winning this fight. Takata's extremely well-rounded as well. Very good when he locks in submissions. He's going to need to do something spectacular because Rubanov is going to take this fight to the ground. And the kind of pressure he puts on you, it's like a blanket. He just stays on you. He's relentless. So I see Godzi winning this fight via 3-round decision. So it's going to be interesting, man. Bellator and Rizin, congratulations to you guys for putting on a cross-promotion matchup. I'm super excited to see how these fights go down. I'm super excited to see this for the first time in a long time. It's been a long time. I wish the UFC, PFL, 1FC, everybody would get on board because we'd have some real crazy fights, and I think the fans deserve it. So hit me in the comments, guys. Let me know what you guys think about these matchups. Who do you guys have winning? Are you a Team Rizin guy? Are you Team Bellator? Or you just don't give a shit? You just want to see some good fights? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I drop more content, and I'll see you motherfuckers on the next one.
Haters talking shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an